When one of the biggest stars on the planet walks away from the biggest company in the industry, you have to ask, what really happened? Ronda Rousey's time in WWE was a whirlwind of championships and historic main events. But when she left, the real fight began. In her explosive book, Our Fight, and a series of brutally honest interviews, Rousey didn't just walk away, she decided to burn the whole bridge down. She's pulling back the curtain on what she calls a shati show, run by men she compares to cartoon villains. She's telling stories of a workplace where performers' health was an afterthought and where inappropriate behavior was just part of the culture. So why did one of the most dominant athletes in the world really leave WWE? In this video, we're breaking down every shocking revelation that exposed the dark side of the sports entertainment giant. The sexist, patriarchal culture. To really get what drove Ronda out, you have to understand the foundation she was walking on. In her book, she describes WWE as having a troubling foundational sexist patriarchal culture. This isn't just an angry tweet. This is a serious charge from a woman who has reached the top of two different combat sports. With what she calls disgust, Rousey writes about the sexist, degrading bullshit the women before her had to go through. For years, women in WWE were often treated like props. In her words, for the longest time, they were relegated to serving male characters in a valet role, an overly sexualized supporting character that takes cheap shots when the ref isn't looking. Remember the bra and panties matches, where victory meant stripping your opponent on live TV? Those weren't from some forgotten era. The last one was in 2007. Rousey argues that even when those matches stopped, the attitude didn't. She writes, "It was still clear that the organization placed more value on a woman's physical appearance than her physical ability. And the women's revolution?" According to Rousey, that wasn't some gift from management. It was a change the company was basically arm-barred into after fans hijacked social media with the Tanza Give Divas a Chance movement. She points to a time when 4 women were given less total time for their match than the entrance music for a single male superstar. It all fed into a theme she kept seeing. WWE is a show written by dudes for dudes. This wasn't just about getting more minutes on TV, it was about respect. Rousey has been blunt about the creative frustrations, feeling that no matter how big the women's names were, they were often still treated as secondary to the men on the card. The men at the top, Emperor Palpatine and his avatars. At the center of this culture, Rousey places one man, Vince McMahon. She doesn't just criticize him, she compares him to Emperor Palpatine from Star Wars. She writes, "It's hard sometimes to know where the evil, unethical, slimeball character of Vince McMahon, played out for the camera's ends, and the actual, questionably ethical, many times sued and multiple times accused of sexual misconduct, Vince McMahon begins." Her criticism isn't just for the former chairman. She has been brutally honest about her feelings toward McMahon and his top executives, John Laurinaitis and Bruce Pritchard. Pritchard, especially, is a target of Rousey's contempt. After the shocking allegations that led to McMahon's final resignation, Rousey warned on social media that Pritchard essentially acts as Vince's avatar. She claimed that even when McMahon was supposedly gone in 2022, he was still running things through Bruce. For Ronda, these men weren't just making bad decisions. They were the gatekeepers of a toxic system. She describes the creative process at WWE as unorganized chaos, where McMahon would change major plans on a whim. This creative whiplash left performers feeling stressed and powerless, trying to put together matches and promos with barely any notice. She said she felt like she was doing custom matches for a fucked sicko in the back. Rousey even takes a shot at the company's lucrative partnership with Saudi Arabia, a country with a restrictive record on women's rights, caustically remarking that it's a nation that restricts the rights of women in a way that I'm certain Vince McMahon wishes he could. It's a blistering statement connecting the company's internal issues to its global business deals, painting a picture of systemic problems from the very top. These revelations are just the start. The issues went beyond creative headaches and into scary territory involving physical danger and alleged misconduct. If you're finding this breakdown insightful, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the stories shaking the world of wrestling. Now, let's get into the most disturbing part of Ronda's story. A culture of misconduct and physical negligence. Maybe the most chilling part of Rousey's story is what she describes about the backstage environment. In an interview, she recounted a specific incident of misconduct involving fellow performer Drew Gulak. She alleged that as she was walking by backstage, Gulak grabbed the drawstring of her sweatpants. She described her shock, saying, "Nobody else reacts as if this is abnormal. All the guys around me were like, this is part of the day." For Rousey, it was a terrifying moment. She confronted him later, but the incident left a really sour taste in her mouth about the culture there and what's considered acceptable. It made her ask, if this guy is coming up to me and doing this kind of stuff to me when there are other people around, what's happening to these other girls when I'm not in the hallway? Gulak later stated it was an accident and that he had apologized. On top of the alleged toxic culture, Rousey pulls back the curtain on a workplace she says was dangerously negligent with her health. For years, throughout her judo and MMA careers, Ronda had been hiding the effects of multiple concussions. This history made her more vulnerable, a secret she guarded to protect her career. She revealed a terrifying moment during a WWE segment where Stephanie McMahon slapped her so hard that it genuinely gave her a concussion. For Rousey, who had a lifetime of experience hiding concussions, the incident was a scary reminder of the risks she was taking, even in a scripted environment. This feeling that the show came before safety seemed to be a recurring theme. After a heavily criticized match at Survivor Series, Rousey claimed Triple H told her that time had been cut from her match because a men's match ran long. Another example, in her view, of the women being treated as an afterthought. The pressure to perform, no matter the cost, was overwhelming. Rousey talks about the dread of just showing up to the arena only to have to put on a show. The dream of being in WWE had worn off, replaced by the miserable reality of working in a system she felt was fundamentally broken. The breaking point and the fight for truth. So what was the final straw? It wasn't just one thing, but the crushing weight of it all. The creative battles, the sexism she perceived, the physical toll, and the feeling of betrayal by a company she once dreamed of joining. In her book, she talks about replacing her pursuit of perfection with the pursuit of happiness. Her losses in the UFC had a huge impact on her, revealing in her memoir that she contemplated suicide after her shocking defeat to Holly Holm. That experience taught her to prioritize her own well-being over achievements. She brought that lesson to WWE, and when the job became unbearable, she chose her health and her family over the money and the fame. The book, Our Fight, is the result of that journey. By all accounts, it's one of the most brutally honest wrestling books ever written. Rousey herself has said that since she has no plans to go back, she feels free to say whatever she wants without fear. She's no longer a hostage to her career, and that freedom makes her story incredibly raw and powerful. She isn't just settling old scores, she's trying to shine a light on what she sees as a dark place. While she gives credit to talented women like Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch, and Liv Morgan, she argues the system is designed to hold them back. The betrayal she felt wasn't just from the top brass. She hints at power struggles and jealousy among the wrestlers themselves, with some stars using their influence to sabotage others. It was this total breakdown of trust, on top of all the other issues, that made her realize the fight just wasn't worth it anymore. From her scathing comparisons of Vince McMahon to a Star Wars villain to chilling allegations about backstage conduct, Ronda Rousey has painted a grim picture of her time in WWE. Her story isn't just about a frustrated athlete. It's an insider's account of what she describes as a deeply flawed, sexist system run by men who, she claims, blurred the line between their on-screen characters and real-life behavior. She's exposed a world of creative chaos, where women were often treated as less important than their male peers. A world where a performer's health could be put at risk, with hidden injuries like concussions being a constant worry. And a world where inappropriate behavior could be dismissed as just part of the day. By writing Our Fight and speaking out, Ronda Rousey has done more than just end her relationship with her former employer. She's given fans a new, unfiltered perspective and a powerful voice to the long-whispered complaints about WWE's backstage culture. Her legacy may now be defined not just by armbars and championships, but by her courage to pull back the curtain and expose the darkest side of a global entertainment empire. The fight she's waging now is for a better, safer industry for everyone who comes after her. What do you think about Ronda Rousey's shocking revelations? Do you believe her allegations will lead to real change in WWE? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you want to stay on top of the biggest stories in wrestling, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching.